So hello guys, and welcome to another discussion video. And recently, we got an info dump for the Paper Mario Thousand Year Door remake, and a lot of the new things look really exciting, like the visuals look amazing, and like all the new promo art and different things look great as well. But we actually got a very small new announcement that we'll be seeing some kind of new gameplay feature or multiple gameplay features in the remake here. So I'm really curious about what it will be. So in this video, I'm joined with Super Mario T, and we will be discussing some possibilities for what this new gameplay feature or features could possibly be. And the first one that comes to mind is the spin dash from Paper Mario 64. I think everyone wants that back in the Thousand Year Door remake.
It was fun in 64. And it's a little different with Yoshi because like you always have to have him out. You always have to be on his back. Your jump is limited. Spin dash is a lot more flexible. You could jump in the middle of it. You can cancel it at pretty much any time. It's a lot more convenient, pretty much.
Yeah, like Yoshi kind of serves a little different purpose. Like I feel like he's more kind of situational. In like cause you really like need him for like getting over like gaps and things, and like I never really used him that much for traversal. I mean sometimes yes, but like I think something like the spin dash would definitely make like traversal like much better in Thousand Year Door, like with due to the design and everything. I think that would just definitely work really well, and I feel like they could either make it like a badge in the game, and kind of also have things like the speedy spin and different things and spin attack, or they could just make it like a base feature. But yeah, I think the spin dash would definitely be a really cool thing.
I probably think like after you go to the Thousand Year Door and then the map opens up and then you get the first crystal star leading to Hotel Castle and Petal Meadows. Like after you talk with Professor Frankly, he will probably give like a little dialogue cue to be like, hey, you should probably check out the badge shop. It just opened up like literally 5 minutes ago. And that is when the badge shop usually opens up. That could probably be like the perfect opportunity to get the spin dash. And that's like at a discount because the shop opened or whatever.
Yeah, and for clarification with spin dash, we're talking about the one from Paper Mario 64 where Mario kind of spins around. Don't get that confused with the one from Sonic. Mario isn't gonna like roll up into a ball and just like speed across the map.
I'm almost wondering if they're gonna change if they do bring back spin dash, if they're gonna change the name just so they don't confuse people with that.
Yeah,
they don't really have to, but.
Or they could call it like maybe like a spin or something like maybe they could just call it like this like something like simple like that. I don't know, like
Twisty Trot.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know. I was kind of half joking with Twisty Trot.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, but I could see them doing something like silly, like with Thousand Year Door though, just like with how the game is. Like I could see them doing like something kind of like
Dreidel dash because you spin like a dreidel.
Yeah, but yeah, I feel like something like just like a little thing like that I could see. They might call it just something as simple as like just the spin move or something like that, something like very basic. But
well, they did call it that in Galaxy. The spin from that game is just called the spin.
And also like and speaking of like names, I also wanted to bring up something real quick with like the spin jump move in Thousand Year Door, because I feel like they're probably gonna rename that to the ground pound. I was just thinking of that.
That actually probably is gonna happen, because that literally is just the ground pound. That's not a spin jump, bro. Yeah. That's the only game you call it a spin jump. Just call it the ground pound.
Yeah, but speaking of fast travel, like with the spin dash and everything, and kind of traversing the world, I feel like there could also be some new features with that, and I feel like there's multiple different ways they could go about this. I think one of the things they could do is like new pipes connecting chapters. I know they did have the thing within the Roadport sewers where you get to like different areas, but I'm thinking there's a possibility that they could overhaul it to be like a little more clear where you're going. Um a little bit like Origami King's pipe room. But kind of mixed with the idea of like the Rogueport sewers pipes. I mean, obviously you're gonna have the main pipes, like the one to like Twilight Town and Petal Meadows and things like that. But I mean like one where you get to like important locations, and then all the pipes are like in one convenient location. That's one thing they could do, kind of like overhaul that system. Um but yeah.
Yeah, like a pipe to Pirate's Grotto or the creepy steeple after you beat the chapter, of course. But like little stuff like that could probably come in handy, because like the pipes in the Rogueport sewers, the blue ones, it goes to like half the locations, and like there is Twilight Town that is a little quicker. But with Glitzville, it's like you always got to take the blimp. You always got to sit through the cutscenes. You could skip them kind of, but it's a time waster regardless.
Yeah. And another thing, like with pipes that they could possibly do, like on top of whatever fast travel system they do, is actually kind of like have different pipes connecting different places within regions. Um, the first thing that comes to mind with like an example of that kind of being implemented in previous Paper Mario games is like chapter 1 of Origami King, where you go to like all of these different areas and then there's these pipes leading back to this one area. I think they could do something like that with like chapter 4, like so you don't have to keep going in between like Creepy Steeple and Twilight Town. Like when you go, like obviously you'll have to go to like Creepy Steeple through the Twilight Trail for the first time, but you could kind of like maybe unlock a pipe by Creepy Steeple that will unlock another pipe back by Twilight Town. So I think that would make a lot of sense. They could do this with like other areas as well. Like maybe even like Keelhaul Key. They could connect like Pirate's Grotto to like the little camp base area. Something like that. I'm thinking like it would kind of make a lot of sense if they had like a few of those things kind of like sprinkled throughout some of the chapters.
Yeah, I definitely think that'd probably be the best way to go. I don't know how likely that will be, but like something like that would definitely come in handy.
Yeah, and then there's also like a couple other things they could do as well. I'll credit you for this idea. This is really cool, but like they could expand the concept of the X-Naut teleporter and basically have different X-Naut teleporters in different regions. Basically, it would kind of be like the fax machine in Origami King, but like it would have that like X-Naut theming with it, and you can kind of go between like different areas like that. That's another thing they could possibly do, but like in terms of like fast travel and everything.
Yeah, like slight spoiler if you never play Thousand Year Door, in chapter 7 to get out of the place you're in, you need to use a teleporter to get back to Rogueport. And that's how you like imagine that in all the other locations throughout the game. That's how the X-Nauts get to all the locations you go to. They're not in every location, but most of them. That's how they go about all the different towns and cities. And like, yeah, I think that would make a lot more sense. And it would provide like a little more extra lore and context in universe.
Yeah. And then the final idea was the magical map, since it kind of makes a lot of sense. Like, if that map had, like, another purpose, you can kind of, like, go to the different locations that you see on the map and everything. Kind of like Mario Odyssey. I think that would make sense as well, to have, like, some kind of fast travel system like that. But, like, all of those ideas, I could see, like, at least one of these things being implemented.
The magical map one definitely seems likely, because that's a pretty common thing in a lot of these explorative Mario games. I mean, Thousand Year Door, it has like a lot less exploration, but the map it has a lot more emphasis in just how important it is throughout the game. How the crystal stars unlock the paths for you to get to the next one.
Yeah,
and it would give it more use.
Yeah, but moving on from fast travel, we're gonna kind of go into the battle aspects a little bit, kind of looking through like Tattle, badges, and different things like that. But the first thing we'll mention is how they'll handle Tattle, because I think there might be some changes in this remake. like we already know that there's going to be a thing called Tattle check, and I'm not sure if that's a toggle for like showing the health or not, or it does show their health automatically still like the original, but you could also pull up Tattle check to show like basically their defense and weaknesses and different things like that. Stuff that you would normally get from Tattle, so you don't have to tattle them again or check the Tattle log to get that info. You could actually pull it up in battle. I think like that would be useful, even if it's just like an HP toggle. Like I think that like I think that's possible for like what the Tattle check could possibly be.
Probably. I'm not expecting too much just because, like, it's Tattle. It just gives you the info on your opponent. And it's, like, put in a little tiny, like, corner, like, UI subtext type thing. So I'm not expecting too much. But, like, there's a mod for Thousand Year Door. I don't know if you guys have heard, called Hero Mode. And Tattle pretty much does, like, that. It shows the opponent's attack, HP, if they have multiple attacks, whether they're super guardable or not. Like, I don't know. I don't think they're going to be, like, toggle, like, super guardable attacks or not, but like showing defense, how many attacks the opponent has. It might come in handy for bosses, especially. Like something along those lines, I think seems a lot more feasible. But again, I have no idea what to expect with Tattle check. I don't think it's going to be anything major or too crazy.
Yeah. And another thing I think they could possibly do with Tattle, like this is another feature from Hero Mode, but like a thing where like you could like Goombella can still attack after you use Tattle. I don't think this one is as likely, because like in Super Mario RPG, like when you use the similar move from Mallow, Thought Peak, like that's your attack for the round. So I don't think that's like too likely, but I still think it's somewhat possible, because it does seem like something that they might do as like a quality of life feature. But we'll have to see. There might be like some very small change to like Tattle with like with what we've seen like with the Tattle check and everything, but I'm not expecting anything too different.
Yeah, me neither.
But moving on, another interesting thing is new badges. So I think the first thought that kind of came to mind with like new badges is like some kind of like hard mode badge, because I mean, considering like Nintendo nowadays with Mario games, the past few Mario games, it's easy mode after easy mode. And I mean, yeah, it's understandable why they have like so many easy modes and things, but I think the best way of like kind of adding like a challenge mode that that a lot of people have been wanting from a Thousand Year Door remake, that a lot of people think is kind of unlikely, is kind of having it through a badge, kind of similar to Bug Fables. And I think there's a couple possibilities of what they could do with this. I think either Triple Pain, which would be kind of funny, or a hard mode badge. And I'm thinking the hard mode badge, they could kind of combine the effects of a few different badges in there, like, and they might even give you like the option if you want like a reward for it, or if you just want it to be just like a raw hard mode, just like nothing gained from it, just like a regular hard mode. Like it kind of it basically would combine the effects of like Unsimplifier, Double Pain, then would also like make the enemies have like higher HP and defense and things. So I think like a hard mode badge like that would be really cool.
Yeah, because that pretty much is what Bug Fables does. I don't remember if it's called exploration points in Bug Fables, the star points for that game. I don't remember if that gets like changed with the hard mode badge or not. I kind of want to say it does. It's hard to say, because on Simplifier you get more star points. So with Simplifier you get less. But I'd be down if you had. But I'd be fine if you had like a hard mode badge with those changes, but you didn't buff the star points.
Yeah.
You'd still have to equip Unsimplifier to do that.
I was
make it even harder.
I was thinking like instead of actually like having it give you like more star points or like more SP and different things like that, I was thinking like the reward for beating certain enemies is like some kind of gold star by in like the Tattle log or something, like showing
Yeah.
that you beat the enemy like with the hard mode badge. I think that would actually be really cool as like a 100% thing. Like,
An achievement list. You get 1,000-year door achievements by beating them in hard mode.
yeah, but like I was thinking like something like you get like an extra little thing. Like it doesn't like increase your stats or give you more EXP or anything. It just gives you like that little thing like, yes, you you beat this in hard mode or something like that. Or maybe it gives you like a little trophy or something if they're gonna do that in this game. But like I think that would be cool if they. I think that's probably the best way to go about a hard mode, because I don't think Nintendo is gonna make a whole hard mode for this, because they really haven't been making like more challenging modes for games. The only times they did it in recent history is with like they made like a new hard like another extra ultra spicy mode for Pikmin 3 Deluxe, and then they did like the hard mode for Metroid Dread. But with Mario games, they've mostly been adding easy modes, so I don't really think they're gonna add like like a separate standalone hard mode. I think it's just gonna be like a badge or something if they're gonna add that. But yeah,
Yeah.
so
If anything, they'll probably add an easy mode badge, just cause like, dude, every Mario game the past couple of years has had an easy
oh
mode.
yeah, honestly, I think they're gonna make like a full-blown easy mode. Like I don't even think it's just gonna be a badge. I think like just because of how many Mario games recently have had easy modes, like Mario vs. Donkey Kong, Super Mario RPG, Mario Wonder.
Odyssey.
Well, Mario Wonder didn't have like a full easy mode, but it was like it was kind of like baked into the game. So
Yeah. Odyssey too.
yeah. So I think I definitely think there's going to be some kind of standalone easy mode in Thousand Year Door, but yeah. Moving on to another type of badge that I think it's not like entirely connected to gameplay, but I think it's worth mentioning when we're talking about badges. But new cosmetic and FX badges, I think those would be really easy to implement, and I think we could definitely see some of them. And some of the ideas I had for it is like a retro badge where it has like red overalls, kind of like the Super Mario Bros. Like style and everything, kind of like that retro style, or Shadow Mario, where Mario's like you could have that like purple Shadow Mario for like the whole game. And then another idea is like power-up colors as well, since Thousand Year Door, unlike the modern Paper Mario games, it doesn't have like the power-up items, so they can still do like different badges that kind of like changes your outfit. Like they could do like fire, ice, flying Mario, different things like that. Bubble Mario. That would actually make sense, kind of like having it so close to Wonder. But like different things like that would be pretty cool. Another idea, pre-order bonus badges. They could do like, or not pre-order bonus, but like save data bonus badges. Where they could do like if you have like save data in Origami King or Super Mario RPG, you could get like King Ollie as like you could get his like you can get those colors. Or you can get like Geno colors or something like that from Super Mario RPG. That would be pretty cool.
Sorry.
Oh, you can go on.
Yeah. Okay. Or they like completely replace Mario sprite with how he looks in Origami King, with like the very flat look and the white outline.
Yeah. They changed the entire style of the models just to accommodate for that one badge. That would be pretty funny.
It would, yeah.
Or another thing that could actually be kind of feasible in the game is like the style of the Paper Mario 64 promo art. Basically make it like the Thousand Year Door beta sprite and kind of have like that style like in the game. I think like, and obviously tweak it a little bit so it's more in line with like how it fits within the game and everything. But yeah, like I think like Paper Mario 64 promo art, that would be a really cool throwback. I don't think they can do like the 64 sprite. That would be kind of hard to implement, but like 64 promo art, I think that would be cool.
Yeah. It seems a little true. I mean, like I say that, but it's like they kind of made like the 64 classic suit and Odyssey work, even though it's not completely 1-to-1. So like they probably could get away with a little bit of like changing flexibility just to like kind of mimic the 64 style. I don't think it's gonna happen, but it would be a really cool addition.
Yeah, I think there's a very slight chance that they'll add like a little extra Paper Mario 64 theme stuff, just because of like how the first trailer had like Paper Mario 64 music at the beginning, and had that like a little bit of that tie-in with like the like in continuity with the partners and the photo and everything. There's a slight chance, but it's pretty unlikely. And another thing they could possibly do is do like new FX badges. Like I was like one that kind of came to mind is one like basically like the FX accessory in Origami King that changes your sound effects to kind of be based on Super Mario Bros, Donkey Kong, arcade Mario Bros, kind of have that like retro kind of sound effects with that. Um that's like they could easily carry that over from Origami King with like the sounds that they had there. So I think it would be really cool if they had like a retro FX badge.
It'd be a pretty easy thing too, because it is just sound effects, and there's already like it's either 6 or 8 different sound effect badges in Thousand Year Door already.
Yeah. And I was also thinking like another one too. Like imagine if they did like 64 like sounds like as another throwback to Paper Mario 64. They could do something like that as well. There's a lot of possibilities with what they could do. I was also thinking, like, what if they do the modern sounds? But it seems like they're already incorporating, like, a few of the modern sounds in the game, so I don't think that would really be relevant. But, like, the retro sound effects, I think that would probably be, like, the most likely thing they would add, and I could definitely see them adding that. But, yeah. So,
Yeah,
one final...
yeah.
Oh, what were you gonna say?
No, I was saying I pretty much agree.
Yeah, but moving on, to like another gameplay type badge, I was thinking like new elemental slash status effect badges, like have different like counterparts for one like some of the badges that inflict different status effects. Like have like a hammer version of Sleepy Stomp. Basically make the Ba Hammer in Thousand Year Door, or have like something like a fire boot type move, like rather like with the hammer being like fire drive, they could have like some kind of like
Fire stomp.
fire stomp that just like creates like some kind of like flame effect that kind of hits the enemies. I think that would be really cool. There's like other things they could do with this as well, but like since they have like certain like status effect badges like tied to like either the hammer or the boots, I think it's kind of likely, or not super likely, but like just kind like it would make a lot of sense if they were gonna add like new hammers and boot badges, that they would kind of like make counterparts for some of these like status effect slash elemental badges.
Fairly possible, I feel. Like a decent 50-60% if you want to like raw numbers, at least in my opinion anyways.
Yeah. But moving on from badges, I wanted to get into some new content that we could possibly see in the game. And one of the ideas that I had was a new pit of 100 trials. And it would basically kind of be like how Super Paper Mario had like 2 pit of 100 trials. So it would be really cool if they added like another one to Thousand Year Door. I had an idea where they even do like a roguelike style thing, like Infinite Pit, but I feel like that's asking for a little too much. I think if they were gonna add another pit, it would just be another pit. But I was thinking they could do one on the moon, and basically the final boss of that would be like a third version of Magnus von Grapple. Because like it would kind of be like how like Hooktail basically had like the third like dragon counterpart in or second depending on when you played the pit. Um but like it basically had like if this was like unlocked after the game, I think it would be cool if they did like a third version, or unlocked after Chapter 7 probably. I think it would be cool if they had like a Magnus von Grapple 3.0 and maybe they introduce like a new X-Naut character, since like Lord Crump is like flung off of the moon. They could have like a new X-Naut character or something. I think that would be pretty cool if they did that.
Yeah, I think it would be cool too. I was kind of thinking like the chapter 8 location. I'm not going to say where, because like it's so weird the situation we're in now, because it's like, oh, some of these people have never played Thousand Year Door. We got to be careful of spoilers. But it's like I think like somewhere in the chapter 8 location, like deeper you go there, because you're already going underground. Like I think that would make a lot more sense as like a little. I can't even go too deep into it. Oh my god, it's so weird now with Thousand Year Door.
Yeah.
It's also because like 1.5 million-ish people played the game originally, so technically not a lot of people.
Yeah.
Oh my. I do think it would be a good idea. Sorry.
I'm not even gonna mention the name of the one funny ghost boss, but yeah.
I think it's a good idea either way. You would have to give it some major hook than just it being another Pit of 100 Trials,
Yeah.
to be fair.
Yeah. I had one idea. I know this is very unlikely. I was thinking they could possibly do like something like just like a compilation. I know this would be hard to justify in the game's lore. Maybe they could just like they could come up with some crazy thing for this, but like I was thinking like enemies from other games like 64, Super Paper Mario, different things like that. Maybe even have like the origami enemies make a cameo. Like have like some kind of like just some like because I was like my inspiration for that idea was like the fact that like some Kirby games like with the Return of the Dreamland remake that brought in like things from other Kirby games like with its like mini game mode. So I was thinking like what if this could kind of be like a celebration of different like Paper Mario enemies, and they could somehow like have it within the Thousand Year Door battle system with Thousand Year Door's mechanics and everything. But it would obviously be pretty limited. They wouldn't like introduce that many. That was just one of the ideas that I had.
I definitely think where was I gonna go with this? Oh yeah, like rematching, like Mario RPG lets you rematch bosses. Like I think something like that could definitely come into play here. Like it would just be a remake thing to do. But also I also think of Mario and Luigi. Every Mario and Luigi game from Bowser's Inside Story onward had like a boss rush type of mode. And like it was just a stretch of different like bosses throughout the game. Different recolors, but they were harder. And if they wanted to for like post game, they could like definitely bring like some 64 characters if they wanted to like add that type of representation, like Junior Troopa, gave him an extra redo, Ken C. Koopa, like characters along those lines, or if we want to some dopey, stupid, like new characters from Thousand Year Door, it's like, oh, now they're a boss in the post game, like Don Pianta or something, or Prince Mush from the Glitz Pit.
Yeah,
because he was actually a champion.
Yeah, like Don Pianta would make so much sense as a boss. Like you could come up to him and like talk to him in his like place there, and then you could like fight him. I think that would be pretty funny.
His primary attack, he wields a gun.
Yeah, imagine like Flavio as well. Like imagine like a boss against him.
He pulls an Usopp and he's actually kind of goated in combat. We just never saw it.
But yeah, or maybe like I was thinking like maybe even like a rematch against was it Garf, the one that you fight in like the get to the east side of Rogueport?
Oh, Gus.
It's Gus. Gus and Garf look exactly the same. I always get them confused. I was like, I remember Garf's name a little more because it's like close to Garfield, but yeah, but like Gus, you fight Gus. But that reminded me of Breaking Bad now. But imagine or imagine if you actually fight with the other one. Because you already fight Gus at the beginning. What if you fight against Garf like later on?
Yeah, he like Gus asks for revenge, but it's a team up pretty much. That'd be pretty fun.
Yeah. But
their spear already does a lot of damage too. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But I think that would be pretty cool. But yeah, it's like between like new bosses, a boss rush, even though like a way to replay the bosses, like a thing like Origami King where you could just like replay the bosses like whatever you want. I think that would be really cool.
It was like some virtual training, like game type thing they did in Origami King, and that's like the first Paper Mario they had boss rematches too. So like I'm kind of thinking they're just gonna do boss rematches in every Paper Mario from here on out, because that's literally what happened with Mario and Luigi come the third game.
Yeah, in Origami King, they had like a high score system that you could do, where and I think with Thousand Year Door, rather than doing like a timed thing, they would do it by the amount of turns it takes to defeat the boss. Like, oh, if you like your high score would be like within like kind of like a minimal number of turns. I think that would be really cool. Like if you could like beat like one of the bosses in like 2 turns, it would like I think that would be really cool to have that. This is really unlikely, but imagine if they do like a leaderboard with like they show like an online leaderboard that shows like the amount of turns it takes. That would be so cool.
Paper Mario with any kind of online functionality would be so sick. But I'm already just kind of thinking like, how good is your power bounce? Can you beat Magnus von Grapple in 1 turn? That's pretty much that will pretty much be like the mode.
Yeah.
Power bounce or multi-bonk.
Yeah, they could even like make different conditions for like if they do like some kind of leaderboard, they could do different like conditions for the bosses, like only using certain types of badges or only blah 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 or something like that. I could like Mario Maker 2 had like clear conditions, so I think that's
Chapter 3 is clear.
Oh yeah. Like, but I was thinking like more of like badge clear conditions as well, like more tied to like equipping different things in the game as well, even going beyond the chapter 3 clear conditions, kind of like making like either like chapter 3's clear conditions as well as like kind of like adding even more onto that. I think that would be really cool. But yeah, there's a lot they could do with like either boss rematches, boss rush, different things like that, like harder bosses, new bosses. There's so many things, like pay to 100 trials. But yeah,
you reach the end of the boss rush to get the highest rank. You refight the final boss, double the health, double the attack. You can't use fire drive, you can't use quick change, you can't use power bounce. Good luck.
I was thinking, imagine if the boss rush is actually in like the like rather than the pit, it's actually in. They have like a separate like kind of like mode within the glitz pit where you like refight the bosses. I think that
makes a lot more sense. You're spitting. Let him cook. Oh my god. No, that makes a lot of sense.
They have like the they have like the Crystal Star Boss League or the Crystal Star Fighter League or something like that. Where you have to like refight the bosses there. That would be really cool. Yeah, I think like for boss rematches, like I think it would be cool if they did like the glitz pit for that or something like that. But yeah, but moving on from different boss modes and things, I think there's I'm not sure if it's like a slim chance because it seems like there's like something that they haven't revealed for Thousand Year Door at this point, but I think there is like still a possibility that they could do a new like extra story on the game. Like not super likely, but I still think there's a chance it could happen. A lot of people are throwing out the Luigi side mode, and yeah, that could definitely work. But I had a really cool idea of where you actually play as the 4 heroes 1,000 years before the events of Thousand Year Door, and you get to see like the ruins of the Roadport sewers like actually be like a full-blown location that's like not in ruins yet, and like all the locations you go to like some of the same locations, but they look vastly different because it's like 1,000 years before. There's like new characters and things. I mean, obviously characters like Beldam, Marilyn, Vivian, the one that I won't mention because of spoilers, a couple of them that I won't mention because of spoilers, will probably be in this, because they're like over 1,000 years old, but I think it would be really cool if they did something like that. And with this mode, like with the 4 heroes, they're not some like random Super Paper Mario-esque characters that would be hard to kind of make a mode around. Because you know with Super Paper Mario's lore, they introduce so many different things, like new human characters, like like all those pixel characters, like the Pixel Queen. It's not that. It like the Thousand Year Door lore. They actually have a Toad, Koopa, Boo, and Goomba as the 4 heroes. That is so marketable as like a Mario mode, like kind of like Bowser's Minions for the Mario and Luigi like remakes and everything. Like you could like they're recognizable characters and everything. You just make new characters out of them, like with the 4 heroes and everything. So it's not like some random characters that they just pull out of nowhere. They're actually Mario characters. So
It says marketable as the Mario and Luigi side bones, but you could actually make it good.
yeah, yeah.
And to go back to the boss mode too, in some like contrived way, you don't even really have to make it make sense. What if you beat that mode? You could fight those 4 heroes as like a secret boss.
That would be really cool. Or imagine like I was thinking this would be even more unlikely, but like imagine like if you beat them, if you play through the mode, beat it, and then you actually like unlock them as like extra partners. Kind of I got this idea from the Xenoblade 3 DLC, because with that mode, when you beat it, you get to unlock Shulk and Rex in the main mode of Xenoblade 3. So I was thinking like something like that, but in Thousand Year Door, that would be amazing.
That would be really cool. I think that might be going too far, but that would be really sick. That would be really sick. But the 4 heroes story mode, like a prologue type thing, I would love a Luigi side campaign. Do not get me wrong. I feel like a 4 heroes story mode is like a lot more feasible.
Yeah.
Because with Luigi side mode, you're pretty much making an entirely new game.
Yeah. And then one more thing that I think could actually be like kind of likely as well is like an epilogue to Thousand Year Door. Like you go back and like visit the partners again, and they kind of like have different like things, like different like little small stories, and different things. I know like a lot of things are resolved by the end of Thousand Year Door, but they can make like little like scenarios, like out like that takes place after Thousand Year Door. I think that would be fun if they did like little things and kind of highlight the partners even more, kind of flesh out their characterization and personalities even more than they already are. I think that would be really cool. They basically have like little sections based on like each of the partners. I think that would be really cool.
They do kind of do that in Bug Fables too. You beat the game, there's like a couple like epilogue missions for Leaf, Kaboo, and V.
Yeah,
sorry.
I was also kind of getting this idea from Xenoblade as well, because like in Xenoblade 3, you have side stories for each of the party members. So I was thinking, and then yeah, like Bug Fables as well. So I was thinking it would kind of be like that.
I literally had something, and oh my gosh. Wait, what was the idea we came up with?
Basically, like side stories for each of the partners, like after you beat the game.
Now I remember, because I think that was one of the ideas they had. They potentially would have done that in Thousand Year Door. I think that was an idea during development.
Yeah.
Was that ever confirmed?
I don't know.
Was it?
I don't know, but like it seems like how the game ends, it does seem like there are these little scenarios being created, like like in different things like that. Like I think like I know Bothell the Great has brought this up before, but I think Vivian's like ending kind of needs a little work because she goes back with her sisters.
It's a little contrived.
Like
she goes back to
like
her abusive sisters.
I mean, like, if they're gonna do anything with that, like, if Nintendo still wants to have it, like, end the same way, they should at least make some kind of way. I know it's really hard to, like, redeem Beldam after everything she does in the game, but, like, I don't know, maybe make, like, some kind of, like, better resolution for Vivian in the game, because, like, I don't know, like, that, I just, it's weird how she goes back to like her abusive sisters, and like it's hard to redeem like Beldam at all, like after everything she's done in the game. I'm just like,
make it so that like Goombella says they got along, but like it's either like Beldam tells Vivian to tell her that, or like Beldam, or it's like Goombella's like according to Beldam they all got along, and then there's like this epilogue piece where like Vivian's still bickering with Beldam. Marilyn's just kind of sitting on the side. but like Beldam kind of commands her to like both of them to fight Vivian. In the end, Mario shows up, but Vivian says like, no, this is my fight alone. Let me prove myself. And then like, I don't think Beldam has to immediately submit or like succumb to Vivian. Like Vivian has to win, but like Vivian has to like prove herself as like the dominant sister, the one they will not stop underestimating.
Yeah. And I was thinking, like, you said Vivian alone there. I was thinking, imagine with this epilogue, you actually play as, like, the partners themselves. Like, you just play as them alone. I think that would just be, like, I mean, yeah, it's obviously really nice to have, like, Mario and the partners and everything, but imagine if they make it where you just play as the partners, and they kind of adjust the battle system a little bit to compensate for that. Just to kind of, like, mix up the gameplay just a little bit while keeping things, like, mostly the same. I think that would be kind of interesting just for that little segment.
Yeah, just heightening the character moments like that. And like what, like Flurry goes off to be like a movie star or like a theater star or whatever. Make her like do some like crazy combat role for a film.
Yeah.
The little Yoshi's trying to become the champion of the new Glitz Pit. Make him fight like make him fight either Rockhawk or Prince Mush on his own.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, let me cook.
Yeah, there's
yeah, there's a lot of potential here.
There's
I'm
so
trying to
much
think
potential. Like, with or without Mario in these modes, I think there's just, like...
Exactly. And it just heightens the characters inadvertently because you're playing as them all alone.
Yeah, I just think it's just really interesting, and I feel like there's just so many possibilities they could do with, like, a side mode in Thousand Year Door. So, I just think that would be really nice. But yeah, moving on to more, well, side content that's in the original game that should really be improved upon is the Trouble Center. Because I really hope they add the feature to take on multiple troubles at once. Like, that system is definitely kind of flawed. And I mean, like, I would also like to see some improvements to the troubles themselves. Because I think, like, some of them are kind of designed a bit weird, because some of them you have to go out of your way to get like really minimal rewards. So and they should also have a menu as well, like a better kind of way to check the like the troubles that you're on and your progress through the troubles and everything. That would be cool to see, like kind of like a more streamlined system, kind of like showing you like kind of more details about it and everything.
Yeah, like there was something I was gonna say before I was gonna say this other thing. I'll just say the other thing. But it's like past couple times I've replayed Thousand Year Door, I'm like, let me actually 100% at this time and going through all the troubles. And then you gotta do one for Petalburg and then go all the way to Hooktail Castle to find a hiding Koopa, like more than halfway through Hooktail Castle. Then you gotta go back, and then you gotta take another trouble, then go back to Petalburg, and then you gotta talk to Mayor Crew and let him finish the story. And then you go back, and then there's another trouble. I think it's either in Hooktail Castle or Petalburg. I don't know, but dude, it's like people bring up the backtracking in chapters 4 and 7 and how that's bad. If you're a completionist for that game, Trouble Center's like a lot worse. At least it's optional, but it's just painful, dude. It's just so annoying. Yeah. Like, there's such an easy way to just make it faster. You just be able to accept all the troubles at once. So you go to that town pretty much once for most, like every time they recycle, or they just go through the new troubles every time you clear a chapter. It's just such an easy fix.
Yeah. And another thing that I think is very likely with it, like probably one of the most likely new additions here, is like new troubles as well. Because I think there's like a lot of things they could do, like with like the troubles and everything. I'm definitely expecting to see some new troubles as well.
I agree. Even if we want to like say like new like post game bosses like Prince Mush, I pitched. That's like, oh, what if you want to fight him and you take on his trouble, like take down the classic like original champion of the Glitz Pit or something like that.
Yeah, but I think that would be pretty cool. Like, the fact that they actually updated the sign for the Troubles, like, actually put a sign on the building for the Trouble Center, kind of makes me think that they are gonna do something with it. Like, and I've actually noticed they've actually added some signs to, like, more of the buildings in Rogueport. Like, there was a screenshot recently, where it actually had, like, a sign over, Frankly's place. So, they might be, like... It seems like they are kind of, like, going in and kind of changing and kind of like adding on to some of these features and everything. So I do think there is a chance that they'll do more things and improve some things with the Trouble Center. But yeah. So moving on, the final thing is kind of like some very small like quality of life changes. And one of those is basically instantly defeating lower leveled enemies. I'm not sure if there's a badge for this or not. Like I've heard something about like a badge in Paper Mario 64 where you could do this, but I know it's definitely a feature in like the modern Paper Mario games. Like when you go back to an older area, you instantly defeat an enemy. And this is also in like other RPGs as well. Like in Earthbound, like when you basically go up to a lower leveled enemy, you instantly defeat it. I think that's definitely a likely thing that they'll do in this remake. Like, let's say you get to the point to where if you would have fought that enemy like regularly in the original game, you would have gotten 0 star points. I think that's basically the criteria for basically instantly defeating the enemies. So,
I just remembered there is a thing for this in floor, I think it's floor 80 in the pit. You could get a badge called Bump Attack. You bump into weaker foes, they pretty much just die on the spot.
Yeah, I was, yeah, that's what it was. I was thinking there was a badge in either 64 or 1000 Year Door that did that. Yeah, that basically have that badge, but make it like a regular gameplay feature, like not an actual badge, but like just something that you automatically do in the game in general. Because like I feel like that's kind of a modern quality of life feature that would be nice to see, like out, like not just the badge, but like as an actual thing you can like do in the game regularly. But I think that's pretty likely that they'll do that.
I mean, even then, they either that or they could probably just rearrange some of the badges around. Because like Bump Attack, floor 80 of the pit, that should not be that low when that's pretty much like a common feature. Like
Honestly,
you could probably swap that out with a different badge and like put that like somewhere in like chapter 2 or 3.
Yeah,
or something.
chapter 2 would make a lot of sense for that, because that, like, at that point in chapter 2, you would be, your level would be high enough to be, like, well above the chapter 1 enemies. So when you go back to chapter 1, it would make sense if you, like, if you go back to that area to, like, 100% the game, it would, or also do, like, troubles and things, you could also, like, instantly defeat the enemies there. That would just make a lot of sense.
That also does remind me of something. We didn't talk about this, but another thing about badges is that like enemies can drop like items and whatnot. They're like relatively common. They're not like too uncommon. It's like pretty fair how often they drop items, but like, oh, they hold on badges. They barely drop those things.
Yeah.
It's like one of the partners you get has like an ability to like steal an item or a badge from the opponent. How often are they going to whip out a badge?
I was also
like almost never.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was also thinking like I was thinking like it would be like really cool if like because we were talking about like different hard modes and things earlier, but like I think it like if they were to make like a separate hard mode, it would have been cool if like the enemies were always carrying items or badges, kind of like if you're playing a randomizer of 1000 Year Door and they're always holding on to like every single enemy has like like some kind of like
a life shroom, defense up.
Yeah, it's just like like a random item, or at least like an item that would normally be found in that area, like just something like that.
Yeah.
It would just like almost similar to like the effect of like Infinite Pit or those randomizers. I just think it would be really cool if there was a mode where like a separate mode where like enemies are always carrying badges and items. But
that would be a really cool idea for sure.
But yeah, but moving on to like another small quality of life feature, I think like they're probably going to do like small tweaks to like things you could do in the overworld. I know we could have kind of mentioned this along with like spin dash and different things, but like I think one thing they could possibly do is like using your hammer in all directions, like you can do like from Sticker Star onwards. But basically kind of like how you could like use the hammer like forward or in front, kind of like that, kind of giving you more like directions to use your hammer. I think that's a possibility. But we could see. I'm not sure if they'll do that or not. Like there are back-facing sprites now in the remake, so there's definitely a possibility that they'll add it. But we'll just have to see.
So uncanny how many back sprites are in the game. Dude, Flurry's back sprite could give me nightmares. I'm like, it's so bare. It's like
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah. I'm just kind of glad that they're actually going into the game and adding these back sprites and everything. Like they're honestly, I did not expect them to go through the effort of actually adding all of these back sprites in. Like,
Yeah, like little like unique character like blips like sounds they make like Goombella. Koops literally sounds like what Koopa Troopa sounds like when they talk. It's pretty much how everyone talks in Mario and Luigi.
yeah, and like all the expressions and things, like they're basically taking every expression and more that would have been in like Color Splash and Origami King and actually remaking it in the style of Thousand Year Door and actually giving it that Thousand Year Door style animation rather than it just being like a more like static kind of like stiffer animation. It
It's
actually has like that.
it's fluid. It is
Yeah, like
fluid.
it takes those really cool like because one of the like I'm not a huge fan of like of the style of the sprites and like Color Splash and Origami King because they use like the flat colors and the white outlines and the dull colors and lack of gradients and things. But one of the things that I did like about those sprites was the fact that they did have a lot of cool expressions and things. Like I like the shrug,
Yeah.
that's pretty iconic, and like different things like that, the Mario being shocked and different things like that. I am so glad that they're translating those really cool like expressions into like the Thousand Year Door style because like they're actually like smoothly animated now and they actually look really cool. I'm hoping that they'll do like the shrug animation in Thousand Year Door. I really want to see that somewhere.
They probably might, honestly. I
But
could definitely see it.
it's like a Paper Mario staple at this point. I just hope it's in one of the classics.
Yeah, there are two things that did come to mind. When I was talking about the badges a little while ago and like their drop rate, I'm thinking like one small thing you could do is like increase their drop rate, actually like make them a lot more common to use. Not like super common, don't make the game broken, but like actually make them appear more common than how they usually do. Because even with regular items, they don't always pop out when you beat an enemy that's holding one. So it's like something like that could definitely help more, or just
Yeah,
like decrease that rate with like hard mode. Something like that would be fine. But also like something as small as like a sound test or swapping between the original soundtrack and the new one. Them even just remaking the soundtrack all on its own is insane. But like Mario RPG let us pick between the original and the remade one. I think Mario Party Superstars does the same with the boards. So we could probably get
yeah.
something similar here too.
So
That's like a
yeah,
very remake thing to do.
yeah, now that you mention it, that definitely makes a lot of sense that they would have that feature there. Because I mean, obviously, I was thinking about that feature, but it actually kind of seems likely now. Now that like multiple different like studios working with Nintendo have had that in like remakes and reimaginings and different things like that for games. So I think that's definitely possible. And like just one small thing that I wanted to mention just real quick. Even though I've mentioned this before, but like a museum with concept art, not necessarily gameplay based, but would still be really cool. They could kind of display like the enemies in a similar way. I know they already have the Tattle block, but they could kind of have like some unique way to display it and everything. Um, and different things like that. I think that would be really cool. I especially want to see the concept art of Thousand Year Door because we've seen the concept art of Color Splash and Origami King. I just really want to see the concept art for either like the original game and the remake. Maybe even throw in like some like other random Paper Mario concept art because like that this is like the place to do it. Just like throw in some of that like concept art because I just am really interested in Paper Mario development history.
I agree. I think a museum's a fair expectation just because, like, Sticker Star onwards, we've had a museum in every Paper Mario since then. But even then, like, you don't even have to limit it to just OG Thousand Year Door. If they have concept art for the remake, they could probably just mix both concept arts for both games in there because I'm pretty sure they still make concepts for some remakes out there.
Yeah, I think like even Super Mario RPG like it was released separately with like I I don't think there was an art book, but I think it was like in like a strategy guide, they had like a page for like art book, like basically like a little mini art book thing. They included some artwork from like concept art from the original as well as some concept art for the remake. So I think like a mixture of both would make quite a lot of sense. But yeah, those are kind of the features that I was thinking of, like with like a museum and things. I know it's not necessarily gameplay like based and everything, but it is worth mentioning because I do think it is kind of likely that they'll add something like that.
I think it's very likely too. I think it's fair.
Yeah, I'm just expecting to see some of those little quirks in like little additions and quality of life features and things that we saw in the modern Paper Mario games. I mean, obviously not like the issues, but like some of the little modern things, like I mean, I guess like kind of like things you would expect to see like during like the Switch era or like a modern Nintendo console and everything that like Origami King and Color Splash had. So I'm kind of expecting to see like some of those like little additions there, but yeah, those are basically all of the kind of ideas we had like in terms of like gameplay additions they could add for the Thousand Year Door remake, along with like a couple other things as well. Um, I just think there's a lot of potential with what they could do, and I'm really looking forward to it. I still cannot believe that this is actually happening. Just like looking on Twitter and seeing Thousand Year Door coming soon, Thousand Year Door on sale on the eShop. I like, how is this happening? How is this even
Everyone talking
real?
Thousand Year
I'm just looking at it. Thousand Year Door. That's the game that I was coping about for years. I'm seeing now like just all over my timeline, all over YouTube. Like this is a real thing now, and I can't believe it's actually happening.
You and me both. Oh my goodness. 2 months. Only 2 months away
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, and I have some big things planned on the channel that I'm gonna announce pretty soon, but yeah, it's really exciting.
Me too.
But
I'm not gonna announce them yet, but I got big things too.
yep. But yeah, and also I'm just gonna say now I'm definitely gonna do a giveaway for this. Definitely gonna do a giveaway. I want as many people to play this as possible.
You're tempting me. I might do one too. I'm just like, I mean, now I'm an adult. I'm like, damn,
I'm gonna
financial struggles. But now I'm like, ooh, what if I win the lottery and I give all my money to buying every copy of Thousand Year Door and just giving it to people?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get Fawful the Great into Meech to do giveaways as well. Because I know Fawful the Great mentioned something about a giveaway as well. So we all need to do giveaways. Get as many people to play Thousand Year Door as possible. This is like
I'm definitely gifting the game to like almost all my college friends because like all of them haven't played Paper Mario. And I'm like, what are you guys doing?
yeah. I know I'm probably gonna get a copy for my brother as well, since like he got a copy of Origami King and he also likes some of the Paper Mario games as well. So he's played a little bit of Thousand Year Door, but like he's probably gonna enjoy the remake. But yeah, really looking forward to this.
Yeah.
Definitely.
My best friend's birthday's. Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
No, it's okay. You can keep
My
going.
best friend. Okay, my best friend's birthday is a week before the game comes out. I'm like, hey, buddy, I know I'm a week late. Here's Thousand Year Door. Again, my sister's birthday's before mine. Probably gonna get it for her. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, really excited about this. Can't wait to see. Like I hope they drop a new trailer soon. I mean, it's nice that we got all this new, like screenshots and like info dumps and like pre-order listing, box art, and different things like that. But I really hope we do get something soon, like in the next few days here, like with it, like some of the gameplay from the screenshots that we got.
It does look really good, and the website's up too. Finally. Excuse me. Whew.
But yeah, that's basically all we have to talk about for now. But yeah, so anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure to subscribe to Super Mario T as well. Goodbye!
Stay super.